Hey, do you love a good story? Great. Then you got to check out the #Storytime podcast. Each episode brings you the craziest, creepiest, and cringiest stories from YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and beyond.
My story is about the time that I was broken up with at the 9/11 memorial twice.
Look, the internet is a dumpster full of stories, and I, your host, Will McFadden, dive in headfirst, sift through the flaming trash, and bring you nothing but treasures. Listen to all 21 episodes of #Storytime now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Wake Up Show Uncensored Podcast, episode 552 for Wednesday, September 1st, 2021, not intended for younger audiences. On the podcast today, we talked about not picking up on symbolism, gay fat friend, being in a bomb threat, and more. All coming up next. It's podcast time. All right, check your mic, Lizette.
Go.
All right, it's the Wake Up Show Uncensored Podcast, not intended for younger audiences. I got a bunch of stuff. First off, you're always putting me up on Netflix shows.
Holy shit. Yes.
Okay, I got one for you. Have you heard of The Godfather of Harlem?
I've seen it.
You've seen it already?
No. I've seen it on Netflix. I haven't watched it.
Oh, I don't know if we're watching it on Netflix or some other shit, but yeah, it's Forrest Whitaker.
I've seen it somewhere.
Okay, so first off, I don't know how new this is. I don't get a lot of time to like sit down and like binge shit. Somehow we stumbled upon it. Like the fiance picked it out. Holy crap! So it's Forrest Whitaker in the '60s. He just gets out of Alcatraz. So already, I'm in. I am such a fiend for anything Alcatraz or Titanic related. I think I mentioned that on the podcast a while ago.
It came out the first episode aired 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago to the date.
Fuck, I'm behind. I thought this was some new shit I was putting people on.
September 29, 2019. So right before the pandemonium.
What? I could have watched this during the pandemic?
You sure could have.
So it opens up with Alcatraz. Because I'm like, all right, look, I got to edit some videos. Like,
I'm the same way, though. Fucking like any type of Alcatraz or big prisons, Titanics or anything that has to do with like witches and back in the day, like Salem witch trials shit and like black magic. I fucking love that shit.
Now, real quick, confirm this for me. Salem witch trials, that was the Salem in Massachusetts, not the Salem in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. I was telling my fiance that as we're driving through Salem, Oregon, and I'm like, no, this ain't the witches area. The witches is on the East Coast. Like, it's Massachusetts. It's not. Okay, so I was right. Anyway, so it opens with Alcatraz, and I'm like, all right, hold up. I'm putting my laptop away. I'm actually going to watch this with you because I was just going to, like, edit videos and have her watch that in the background. I'm like, Alcatraz in the first 5
Say
seconds?
less.
So I'm like, hold on, I'm watching this. So since it's a 2-year-old series, I'm not going to, like, dive deep into it. But Forrest Whitaker, he plays Bumpy Johnson, which is, everybody knows, like, the Bonanno family. Everybody knows, like, the 7 families.
Bonanno family.
Everybody knows the 7 mafia families, right?
That's a mafia family?
Bonanno is a family, yeah.
I went to elementary school with the kid with that last name.
Oh, shit. Look him
and
up.
it's just now, I think he's like a doctor now. And his sister is a cheerleader for, I want to say the 49ers.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
So everybody knows, like, the 7 Italian families, but there was a dude in Harlem named Bumpy Johnson who was, like, a mafia guy of his own.
Now I want to look into their family history.
Yeah, do that.
Holy shit.
And so we're watching this. I'm like, yo, this is pretty dope. This is kind of cool. And then the song, like the theme music kicks off, and it's fucking Swiss Beats. It's Swiss Beats and Rick Ross. These motherfuckers are doing the theme song. I'm like, whoa. And then, like, they'll have, like, real life. They'll have, like, real life celebrities. Like, Aloe Black played a singer, like, in Harlem. I'm like, oh, shit, that's Aloe Black.
Did
Like,
they
some
have
other people.
aloe vera?
No, they didn't have aloe vera. But it's dope. So we got, like, through 5 episodes this weekend. And I'm like, I can't wait to put people on. I didn't know this is, like, 2 years old.
Yeah, it's old.
Oops. I'm going to cross that off the list then. Okay.
You have to watch Clickbait. I didn't want to say anything on the air because let me look up when it came out. It might be new.
I'm already calling it right now. It's going to be a good podcast, everybody, because I got a gang of shit to get through, and I'm excited about the shit that I have.
Okay,
And I know
yes.
Lizette's got good shit, too.
It's new.
Okay, Clickbait.
So Clickbait came out on August 25th. So literally like last week.
Okay.
Less than a week ago.
Okay.
It's got I know these are big names, but I haven't seen anything that any of them in. Adrian Grenier.
Okay.
Grenier.
Okay.
Betty Gabriel. She's the girl from Us. That was going. No.
Oh,
Her.
scary. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in it. So I'm gonna try to explain it without giving too much of it away. Basically, someone dies. Okay, this might give away what happens in the first episode. When you start watching it, you're going to be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. That's who it is. So someone dies from a viral video in the beginning.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I have seen commercials for this.
Someone dies from a viral video, and they spend the whole, time. There's 8 episodes. They spend the whole time trying to obviously find out who the killer was.
Got it.
And it is not who you fucking expect it to be. I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay, I'm fucking with it.
It's such a good show. The whole time. It's kind of like what's that one show? Is it 13 Reasons Why? Maybe. It's one of those shows where like every episode obviously will like make you think, oh, it's this person. And then you watch another episode and you're like, okay, that doesn't make sense. It's got to be this person then. Yeah. It's one of those shows where every episode you watch is like, oh, it's this person. I bet you it's this person. I bet you it's this person who we don't know who it is, but we know that they're a character in the show. Like, it's that shit.
Dope.
All the way up until the end. And then you get to the end and you're like, holy shit. I did not see that coming.
So you watched the whole season already?
Yes.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, clickbait. It's on the list. Okay.
So good.
So on Saturday, we had on the air. Yeah, Danny Bakes. We had Danny Bakes on the air on the podcast. Danny Baker from she is champion of the food what's it called Food Network MasterChef Amateurs. So she came over to the house Saturday. We were talking about the Kanye Donda album, right? She goes, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, it's great marketing, right? And I love the whole live performance thing. Like, it's just a vibe. It brings people together." And so she went down this like rabbit hole of symbolism, because certain people can think like 4 layers above the rest of us. Like, you ever watch a movie and somehow like it's just a regular movie, but then you read online later, you read something like, oh yeah, well, every time that so-and-so went into a room, like the walls were blue, and that meant that he was struggling with this.
Yeah.
Like, what? How did you find that? Kanye, same way. So before I get into Kanye, let's talk about Drake. Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy. It's about love, baby making. It's dropping 9 months after the expected release date. 9 months is a full-term pregnancy. It's dropping on Labor Day weekend, which is why there's pregnant emojis on the cover. So shit like that all ties in. Drake announced the album that it was coming 9 months ago.
And it was just cooking this whole time?
It's like a full-term
baking.
Yeah, full-term pregnancy. It's dropping on
Technically, a pregnancy is 10 months.
I know, but tell that to Drake. He's Canadian. They do metric. They use the metric
They use a different
system.
measurement system.
So it's dropping on Labor Day weekend. I don't know if you guys caught the Instagram post he made. It's just a bunch of like pregnant emojis, which I'm like, why is he doing that? That's weird. That's lame. But he thinks like on different levels. Like when people try to go into symbolism, I never catch it. I never catch on. And I feel stupid. I'm like, oh, well, now that you mentioned, of course, it was 9 months ago. It's on Labor Day weekend. It's about love and baby making. And here's a bunch of pregnant emojis on the cover art. I'm like, damn.
He got hella more kids.
Oh, my God. Well, speaking of which, we didn't talk about it because we're about to go into this Kanye performance. His last one at Soldier Field in Chicago when he recreated his house. Somebody, and
vandalized his real house?
Well, yeah. But the internet is undefeated. Somebody was watching the stream and they noticed, hey, on the porch in Soldier Field, on the porch of the set of Kanye's childhood home, there's this, she's like a reggaeton singer hanging out with Kanye. Well, guess what? That reggaeton singer a while ago was somebody who people
like in
thought,
real life?
in real life. because remember Kanye had like the baby with him. He had Marilyn Manson with him.
Yeah, and then some other guy.
He had this, but he had this reggaeton singer with him. I think she's reggaeton singer. Anyway, so there was a while ago that she was rumored to have gotten pregnant by Drake. So Kanye knows that this chick is apparently a rumored Drake pregnancy, puts her on the porch for the streaming listening party with him. Like, just deep pettiness. Like, wow, that's fucking good. And then the internet found out and screenshotted her and put a photo of her next to, like, the artist. Like, oh, yo, this is the, yeah. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah, I don't look into shit like that.
No. All right, here's the deepness. And I'm going to ruin it, so I'm not going to go too deep on it. Kanye's symbolism, right? He's been talking about Jesus and religion for the longest time, right? Which Jesus Walks still one of my favorite fucking songs of his. I fucking like the beat to it. I like the march, the cadence. I love everything about Jesus Walks. So he did this whole performance art piece, the 3 different listening parties, where apparently like the 3, and I'm gonna screw this up, the 3 stages of hell into heaven. So the first one, in the Mercedes-Benz
event,
listening
when he like
event,
ascended into.
No, it was the second. So the first one, remember, he was dressed in all red. He was dressed in all red. He's in hell. He lived in the stadium for like 2 weeks, right? That was symbolic of being in hell, wanting to escape. It's something about the bowels of hell. And again, I'm fucking this up. Second event was he's going into purgatory. So at the end, he ascends into heaven, essentially. And all the colors different. It's black and white instead of everything's being red, right? It's black and white. So the third one, it's back to his childhood home. He's marrying Kim. He's got the cross on top. It's like he left. He's finally entering heaven. God damn it! I knew I should have paid attention when she was telling me all this. I'm gonna have Danny Baker on the podcast. She said she spent like 2 hours on this thread. I don't know if it was a Twitter thread or a Reddit thread or somewhere online, but it explained all the symbolism and how it was actually like a religious symbolism. And this whole like month-long thing from Kanye was performance art. The entire thing was planned and is like red because I'm in hell and I'm living in the bowels of the stadium because that symbolizes something about the bowels of hell. But then I'm going to go to purgatory for the second one. And then I'm going to ascend into heaven.
The third event was not heaven. That was him like on his way to heaven.
Yes. Which is why when he started the third event, he was on fire. That was something about the phoenix rising, his soul.
Holy shit.
It was deep. And I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to make it a point to get all my facts lined up for the next podcast. So if you're listening to this on Wednesday, we'll have it Friday. If you're binging, it'll be the next podcast.
And like obviously, if you know Kanye, it's kind of like, have you ever been told or read somewhere or heard that like everything in a movie happens for a reason? Like,
oh yeah, I tell my fiance that all the time.
Yeah, like if they pan over to like a pocket watch or something, and it's just kind of like whatever.
Nope, it's important.
You're like, oh, that's important. I'm gonna remember that pocket watch. If they pan over to a random person in the background, like, okay, that person's important. I have to remember them.
Yep.
It's kind of the same with what Kanye does. Like, we didn't understand anything that was going on in these events. Like, oh, dope, he's on fire. Oh shit, that's Kim in a wedding dress. Like, whoa, he's got his childhood home. Obviously, that kind of was just like his childhood home. Obviously, that means something to him. But I don't think we really thought to think that
deeper.
Deep.
It's not superficial with him. Nothing is just face value.
Right. And I knew that. Like, obviously, watching, like, all of this means something to Kanye. It's all symbolic for something, especially when it's a bunch of random weird shit.
Yeah.
It's always almost symbolic and it means something.
Yeah.
Nobody just ever fucking knows what it is.
Yeah. I love that stuff. And okay, so I'll make it a point. I was so psyched on her breaking it. She's in my living room, breaking it down for like 15 minutes, and she's blowing my mind because everything she's saying, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And she's fresh off the rabbit hole of shit that she dug into. So I'm like, oh my God. Like that was a month and a half long performance piece right there. I went to go see, what's her name? Sia? Is Sia the singer that was hella big, a couple years ago, but like she had a...
she never showed her face?
She never showed her face,
right.
And apparently she was like socially anxious. So even when she did like interviews, she would like either wear a wig or like she would turn around or something like that. She wouldn't take pictures with people. So anyway, I went to go see her in concert. And it was really dope. She stood on the side of the stage. And it was a cool looking stage she had set up. She stood on the side of the stage with her little wig in front of her face. And she sang all of her songs. She sang the song. She did a live performance. But while she was standing way over in the corner, like dancers would come out and like ballet dancers and like interpretive dancers and shit like that. So rather than like her jumping around on the stage singing and dancing, she was over in the corner singing. But then there was like a performance in front. It was fucking dope, dude. It was a nice twist. It was kind of like what Kanye did with these listening parties, where he's not singing, but he's out there listening to it.
Do you think that I've seen these rumors, or not rumors, I hate to call them rumors.
Look at all these rumors.
It sounds like I heard them from someone.
Theories?
No, not theories, but just like reports and stuff in the blogs that him and Kim are working on their relationship now.
Yeah, I've seen that. I like
and
it.
I've seen another one that like Kanye, I guess, is telling all his friends, like, yeah, we're back together already. We're working through things. We're getting back together. But that's just like only him saying that. And Kim's like, no, we're not.
I have seen those. I don't know who to trust, but I do like these.
What do you think?
Reports. I like it, dude. I think they're good for each other. And again, there's kids involved. If it's just like a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, hey, break up. I don't fucking care. But there's kids involved. And splitting up a household, that's a very sensitive point with me. If there's kids in the household, try to work it out. She's obviously been there through thick and thin with him and his mental episodes up and down, and she's put up with a lot. But I'm down for them staying together.
If they get back together, will you feel then like this whole divorce and separation and everything was all for show?
No. I don't think she would do that. I don't think she would do that. That's deep. I don't think he'd play around with that. No.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they play around with anything these days.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so we have a new friend. Well, we met a new friend. We met somebody that I want to become friends with.
Okay, those two different things.
Three different things.
We recently moved.
Okay, so I'm on TikTok scrolling through. What's that click? Are you hearing a click?
Yeah.
Is that the mic or my headphones? Okay,
I don't
whatever.
know. It stopped.
Let me shut my email down so it doesn't ding on us. Okay, I can't. So anyway, I'm scrolling through, and then this guy's video comes up, and I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, he's kind of funny. And I'm watching this guy's TikTok video. I'm like, dude, he's hella funny. And he mentioned Seattle. I'm like, oh shit, he's out here. And then I looked at his his TikTok name, and it's Gay Fat Friend. So let me scroll through. Lizette, here's our new Gay Fat Friend. Oh, this is gonna beep. Hold on. Turn this off so it doesn't beep. Here we go.
To Seattle.
Oops, sorry.
First off,
Back.
hey friend. So we recently moved to Seattle. First off, way too much sunshine. I feel like I was lied to. Anyway, when you move to a new state, that means you got to get a new state driver's license. So I went to the Seattle DMV, which was like a store in a strip mall. It was appointment only, and it took forever to get an appointment. And online it said, to make things faster, pre-apply. Well, to pre-apply, you have to establish residency. And to establish residency, you have to register to vote. But to register to vote, you have to have a Washington driver's license. Washington! Make it make sense!
Right, and we went through that same shit also, right? God damn it. So this guy, Gay Fat Friend, his real name is Todd, by the way, I found out later.
Also, make it rain. This is too much sun. I did not move to Seattle for sun. Seattle, I am confusion.
I am confusion. So
where did he move from? Do we know?
Yeah, L.A. I don't know if he said
What the fuck? And you're mad about this little baby ass Seattle son?
Well, he said, maybe I spent way too much time on his TikTok. He has a thing where he doesn't like the sun. He's like, I was born, like I've been in LA last 20 something years. Like I came out here not for the sun. I came out to the Pacific Northwest.
Well, Todd.
Yeah.
Todd. You gonna get your not son. Just give it a few.
Oh, it's about to happen.
It's gonna happen.
So we recently moved to Seattle.
Oh, damn it.
First off,
I think it ends with confusion. So anyway,
friends, thanks for all the great comments and likes on my Seattle video. Seriously, everyone has been so nice. The comments have been great. But I just wanted to answer a few questions real fast. All of the utilities are in my husband's name, so I haven't a utility bill to take in. And I was trying to get a real ID, which you have to like hardcore verify your residence. So I have to get like, I'm gonna figure something out. But I got a regular Seattle driver's license, but I went down there to get a real ID so I could fly in 2 years. It's dumb. Anyway, I wanted to
Oh,
address...
shoot. Okay, so there was part that I missed. Hold on. Let me go back to the original video.
So we recently moved to...
So anyway, there's a part where I'm going to get to it right now. I don't want to replay this whole thing on the podcast. So he said something about like, and someone tell me like, where's a good place for breakfast? I love breakfast. And if you guys can't tell by his TikTok name, Gay Fat Friend, it's a big guy. Todd is a big guy. He's like, I love breakfast. Like, where's a good spot? Like other than Sherry's and like Denny's. And so I DM'd him. I'm like, hey, welcome to Seattle. Hopefully we could be your favorite new morning show. Once you find a favorite like breakfast place, let us know. And so he hit me back. He's like, oh, my God, that's awesome. I can't wait to listen. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Gay Fat Friend. So this is our new friend, by the way, Lizette.
Make it make sense.
Okay, so
Make it rain.
here comes his rant about breakfast. Because isn't breakfast like the best fucking place to
Yeah.
go, dude? Fucking love breakfast. Here you go.
Seattle, I am Confucian. So we recently moved to Seattle.
That was the
First
end.
off,
Okay, well, what
I
other...
think you're a liar.
What other video? There's, I guess, how many of his videos did I watch? There's some video where he's talking about like he wants to find like the food spot. Anyway, Gay Fat Friend on TikTok. We are now friends. And that last video he did, dude, he's got 136,000 followers now. One of his videos went crazy viral.
That's how it happens.
I think it was the Halloween one. All of a sudden, he went viral off this like Halloween. Oh, no, this one. Food, body type. I don't know, whatever. He's funny. He's a funny dude. So we're friends with him. This guy, and do you ever watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
No, do you?
No, I don't know if he was on it. Well, because then there's another video.
One small, unimportant decision that you made that changed the whole trajectory of your life.
so I do stand up. Yeah. And like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I did a show, a tiny little bar show with Joan Rivers head writer Tony Tripoli. And we had met before, but never really talked. And anyway, I got a little too drunk. And after the show, I was like, I'm going to ask for a job. I'm going to ask if I can write for Joan Rivers. So I went up to Tony and I was like, can I write for Joan Rivers? And he said, oh yeah, sure, email me. And then the next day I sobered up and I emailed him. And then he emailed me back and I auditioned and Joan liked me and I got the job.
Whoa.
And then because of that job, I got my job on RuPaul's Drag Race. And then because of that job, I met all the queens and started writing jokes for them. So, moral of the story, drink too much and then demand jobs from strangers, I think.
So I don't know. Does that mean he was a writer on
Probably,
Drag Race? He
yeah.
wasn't a contestant or nothing.
No.
Okay. So I didn't know he was a comedian until I saw that video today. I just thought he was a funny dude. So I'm actually going to reach out to him and see if we can get him on the podcast because he seems like a fun guy to kick it with.
Did you find a good breakfast spot? Tell us about it.
Yeah, right?
That's
All right.
funny. TikTok is crazy.
TikTok's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
All right. Anything else before we wrap up? Let's see. Drake, Kanye. Oh, the bomb threat. Fuck. Did you hear about the bomb threat? Yeah, we're supposed to evacuate right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, here? What
no.
the fuck?
So a man claimed he planted 17 explosive devices in the arena at the Jake Paul Tyrone Woodley fight. And he was planning to kill
shit.
He was planning to kill, quote, non-believers like Jake Paul. The cops searched, they found no bombs.
Non-believers of what? Jesus?
Maybe.
The vaccine?
It could be anything. Cops made no arrests. They found no bombs. I think they're still investigating. Do I have the thing? I lost it. Let me go up here. Did you even hear about the bomb threat? I didn't hear
No.
that at all. Let's see here.
What would you do if you were in there and there was a bomb threat?
I'm out. Fuck
How
it.
mad would you be if you found out there was a bomb threat after you already left and the night was over?
Ooh, great question. I'd be pretty pissed.
I would be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I would sue them for mental trauma.
Can't you? Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. This guy said the bombs. Oh, this is another thing. The man who said the bombs were going to go off in minutes told the cops he was targeting non-believers who he believed should be killed. He told police that Jake Paul was a non-believer.
Of what?
The caller stated he planted the devices an hour and a half before the event started. Now, I don't think you're getting into an arena 90 minutes before the event and you're going to drop 17 bombs in
You
there.
gotta do that like a week before.
Police dispatched the bomb unit, including a bomb-sniffing K9. They swept the building. I don't care, bro. I don't care. After what happened in Las Vegas with the dude from, was it the MGM Grand? The shooting, the big shooting in Vegas. He spent like 4 or 5 days like hauling guns into his hotel room, and he shot at the...
That wasn't the MGM Grand.
What was the big tall one?
It was Vegas shooting.
Was it MGM?
Hotel room.
Mandalay Bay. Mandalay Bay. That's right. But I've seen so many documentaries on that, and every time they play like security footage or surveillance footage of the hotel, and they're like, oh yeah, the guy, here he is dragging more suitcases into his room. Here he is dragging more suitcases in his room. And like each of those suitcases contained hella guns. And he set like booby traps and cameras in the hallway. Like there's still way more to that story that they're not telling us, because if anyone's ever been to Vegas, you know how many cameras are in these casinos. And they're like, oh, we only have like 2 angles. Really? You only got 2 angles of this shit? Come on.
I'm looking at pictures right now.
Of what? The Jake Paul fight or the Mandalay Bay
The Mandalay Bay.
Fuck, that's crazy.
His room.
Oh, that's so crazy.
That's insane.
You could spend all day going down a rabbit hole of that.
Is there a tub in the middle of the room?
I think so. He had some like crazy suite.
Nice. Oh, damn. It's filled with hella guns and shit.
Yeah. He didn't even reload. He would just use a gun, empty the clip. All right, grab another gun. That was insane.
How did he even have all these guns?
He lived out in Nevada, right? Didn't he live out there and he spent just hella years assembling them? All right, we got to jump on a meeting right now. On Instagram, we are at It's The Wake Up Show.
I'm at Lisette Love, LIZETTELOVEE.
I'm at Strawberry Radio. We'll talk to you Wednesday where I will have more info on the Kanye religious symbolism. All right, peace.
Bye.
Do your part. Get tested. If you have symptoms like a cough, sniffles, loss of taste or smell, or low-grade fever, you should get a COVID-19 test, even if you're vaccinated. When you know your status, you can do your part to keep your friends and family safe. With dozens of testing options available throughout Pierce County, you can get tested today. Tacoma Pierce County Health Department invites you to learn more at tpchd.org/gettested.